some more for Cornerstone Coin. Now in Streamlabs desktop, window, end stream, button, group.
Welcome, guys. I'm not vibing with this music, I'm not gonna lie.
YouTube, 1 app, pause keyboard shortcut, 1 app, mute keyboard shortcut, 5% vol, 1 app group, in view chat, autoplay, subset, theater, full, end of, heading level 1.
So today I'm going to edit some DeathWish stuff because I listened to episodes 13 and I listened to episodes 13 and 14 on Pocket FM earlier, and I had some definite reworks that need to be fleshed out and some add-ons and stuff. So I want to get that done, and I also want to maybe finish the CornerstoneCoins chapter that I started earlier that I was hinting at on my last stream. Oh yeah, let me get the
Streamlabs desk
ready
pages,
so
Finder,
everybody can
Google Chrome, window, Chrome, 2, now in, Pocket Studio, right, now in, 2, insert free, now in, 2, audiobook anime, group. You are currently on a group. To enter 2, blindfolded, new back, real, view site, YouTube, book, def, secret note, link, contact.
I'm done.
Item chooser, set to 2 items, becoming a partnered YouTube, heading level 3, level 2, link, becoming a partnered YouTube writer, editing session number 1, group. You are currently on a...
Yeah, I gotta remember that smarter, not harder. I know I'm blind, but I'm not dumb, so just gotta use that brain sometimes. So yes, people should be able to comment now because I got that pulled up.
YouTube, Streamlabs desktop, pages, Chrome pages, Apple main page file, open untyped 20, Cornerstone 8, 9, chapter 4, chapter 9x 14. Clear menu, chap 14. Unclosing menu, now in, 14. Unfocused rebirth, window, 14.
Got that one, and then
Google Chrome, YouTube, Streamlabs, Finder, Cornerstone story details, window, synopsis by, now in, documents,
no.
In list view, DeathWish folder, collapsed. You are menu, open a new tab. Now in, Chrome. Has new status icon view 3 paranoia pages dot 0.1 Riker common born status page 11 revenge is a bloody game page 13 through the fire and flames pages now in 13 through the fire and flames window.
I'm hoping I got my camera angles good. I'm hoping everything is good for this stream. Because we're about to get to it. Okay, actually, let's pause this music and listen to this episode.
Header, body, in at the beginning of text.
At Shababy 214, hello.
Oh, hey. Welcome to the live stream. I'm about to start some editing. Feel free to comment as much as you like. But yeah, welcome. Feel free to also subscribe. I don't know if you're a subscriber. We're about to put out some private playlist for my subscribers soon for different challenges and things like that are going to help people become writers. So, feel free to join.
New line. The rest of the new line.
Here we go.
Selected 13. Through the fire and flames. Speech muted.
13. Through the fire and 13. Through the fire.
Hold on. Sorry, y'all. My mom uses Speechify on my Speechify account, so sometimes my narrating voice gets changed up. And was I calling somebody? Okay.
Speech on. Use messages folder. 9 apps.
At Shababy214, you came up on my For You page.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Do you have any interest in writing at all, or do you like any like anime style stuff, or any fantasy books or anything like that?
Speech off. Speech on. With Catherine Diallo.
Oh. Hello? Hello? I didn't mean to call you.
Swipe up with 3 fingers to close the app.
Huh?
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay.
At Shababy214, yeah, I write. 114, I journal, but that's it.
Oh, okay, okay. What's crazy is my mom actually just put out like a journaling book where it has like daily prompts that she just put out on Amazon, where it'll say like if you were open to something new in your life, what would you want to try, and why, and how would it make you feel? And it's just very therapeutic. It's a really cool journal. But hey, yeah, let me get back to it, love. Yep. Feel free to join.
What?
I said feel free to join.
Okay.
Yep. You gonna call me back? Oh, okay. She's gone. All right.
Audible. Path of the Deathless. Book 2. 8 hours. Speech off.
Oh, yeah. Open Speechify.
Speech on.
So what do you like to journal about? Is it like just your day-to-day stuff, or do you, experiment with poems, or is it just, getting your stresses out? What kind of journaling stuff is it?
Profile. Button. Speechify text. Image. Try now. Button. Solid ground snacks.
At Shababy214, can't a tie on lunch break.
Oh, you came to talk on your lunch break?
At Shababy214, but wanted to say hello.
Oh, okay. Well, hey. Feel free to come back anytime I'm live and chat in the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot of different stuff on the channel.
At Shababy214, but I will subscribe.
Appreciate you. Share if you'd like to. And if you know anybody
At Shababy214, I can't stay.
Oh, okay. I understand. But I do appreciate you for joining, and, if you, get any more free time and you see me live, do your thing. We're more than welcome to chat, share, whatever, whatever is going on that day in the channel.
At Shababy214 will do. Have a great night.
You too. Be safe out there. Man, I gotta get this voice though.
Speech on. Scan. Button. Solid ground snacks concessions agreement. 2 0 2 red. Normal. Dismiss. Button. Current voice. Jiraiya Diallo. Button. Shortcuts. Head Rowan. Narrator. Button. Rowan. Narrator. Pop up button.
There we go.
A single spark lit the heart of the world. I'm Rowan, and I live for stories that burn bright with destiny.
I love you, my brother Rowan.
Voice library. John. British actor. Speech off.
I love you, good man. That's so cool. Popping up on people's For You pages. That means we're doing it, guys. We're doing it. Hold on. Yep.
13. 13.
Trinact. Through the fire, Trinact.
Why is it
Through the fire and flames.
I don't know why it says
The rest of the meal was more than awkward for Riker. Not only because those around him gave him strange stares, but more his own racing thoughts at the answer he'd been given. Truly they expect me to believe that all of them have been burned by that forge?
Speech unmute. Body. Paid new and beware. All out body, footer, group, body, tab, body, page 1 of 5. New line. The rest of the meal was more decreased system. Those around him gave him strange stares, but more his own racing thoughts at. Header, body, net because, only, not, pay only because, pay only, not, Riker. 4. Awkward, then, more, was. The rest of the meal was more than right, not only because those around him gave him strange stares, but more. Not only because those around him gave him strange stares, but more his own racing thoughts at the end. More. Page his. Page 1 his. Because of. Not only because those around him gave him strange stares, but more because of his own racing thoughts at the answer he'd been given. His. Of. Because. More. Page 1 more. More comma. Not only because those around him gave him strange stares, but more because of his own racing thoughts at the answer he'd been given. Because of his own thoughts at the end. New line. Truly, they expect me to believe that all of them have been burned by that forge. New line. Riker couldn't help but stare at the roiling flame in the forge behind Osiris.
Riker couldn't help but stare at the roiling flame.
Speechify has new window. Actions available. Format text quickly by voiceover jumping to the formatter.
Wow.
You are currently on a text area inside of a page. To enter text in this area, type speech muted.
Truly they expect me to believe that all of them have been burned by that forge? Riker couldn't help but stare at the roiling flame in the forge behind Osiris, then began to let his eyes roam the room, taking in all those still at the table with him. It was then that he started to see them, the burns. All the youths there had burns, but Riker understood as he examined them why no one would know. They've all covered them with tattoos. Osiris had a burn that wrapped around his left hand and slightly up his wrist. The tattoo that covered it was made to look like armored chain. Riker looked to Vin next and saw his impression of the young man being entirely bookish in nature was wrong, his rippling muscles flexing with each time he lifted his fork to his mouth. His burn scar made to look like a snake made of flames, snaking its way up his inner arm.
Speech nature his mouth. Way up his nature was wrong. His rippling muscles flexing with each time he lifted his fork to his mouth. His burn scar made to look like a snake. Riker looked to misspelled Vin next and saw his impression of the young man being entirely bookish in nature was wrong. His rippling muscles flexing with each time he lifted his fork to his mouth. Way up his inner arm. His burn scar made to look like a snake made of flames snaking its way up his inner arm. And up to his page 1 his burn scar made to look like a snake made of flames snaking its way up his inner way up his inner arm and it's like look 2 made scar burn his mouth his 2 paid his mouth his burn scar made to look like a snake. EKS space A.
Ooh. Ziggy, define Leviathan.
Leviathan is usually defined as a sea monster. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for Leviathan.
Ziggy, give me synonyms for large snake.
From worldatlas.com. Most of these large snakes are non-venomous constrictors and include anacondas, pythons, and boa constrictors.
Ziggy, give me the names of mythical snakes in history.
From Quora.com. Ophion, a snake in Greek mythology who helped to give birth to the world.
Ziggy, repeat.
Ophion, a snake in Greek mythology who helped to give birth to the world.
Space A. M-A-E massive O-N-S-T-R constrictor space constrictor comma made of flames made constrictor page 1 comma flames S flames snaking page 1 snaking T-E the E-R-P-N-T serpent space S-S-T
T.
Serpent. His burn scar made to look like a massive constrictor made of flames, the serpent snaking its way up his inner arm and up to his shoulder. Its way up his inner arm. N.
D. A.
L. O. A. The. W. A. Y. Way. Up. Page 1. Space. Up. A. Y. Space. 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 His burn scar made to look like a massive constrictor made of flames, the serpent snaking its way up his inner arm all the way up to his shoulder. New line. Riker couldn't help but stare at the tattooed fangs that bit into the Utes. Shoulder. Feeling as if the eyes of the snake bore into him as if the tattoo was. Him. Into. Him as if the tattoo was alive. What the in bore snake the of I the if as feeling shoulder. Page 1 R E D O H S E R lower. N E K neck. Riker couldn't help but stare at the tattooed fangs that bit into the youth's lower neck, feeling as if the eyes of the snake bore into him as if the tattoo was alive and locking gazes with him. Feel as if the eyes of the snake bore in him as if the tattoo. A T space. The H E image. H A I space. Space. The A R T art. And lock new line. He combed the rest of the young men and women there. All had burns. He combed the rest of the new line. He combed the rest. Page 1 the E the space the D I P A Y E D displayed. Space displayed. S A R S scars. A R. Page 1 he combed the displayed scars of honor rest of the young men. R honor. O N on. N O space. Honor. O N T the K I N skin space. N I K S space the
unclothed. Ziggy, define the body when it is not naked. Not naked skin. What's the word I'm looking
From
for?
thecontentauthority.com. When it comes to describing the state of being without clothing, there are two words that are often used interchangeably, unclothed and naked.
space the
Ziggy, I'm looking for a term that describes sections of the body that aren't hidden by clothing.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
That called.
From kidshelf.org. The epidermis is the part of your skin you can see.
Wow.
Page 1 he combed the displayed scars of honor on the rest of the young men and women there. Space the Page 1 he combed the displayed scars of honor on the rest of the young men and women there. Space rest. He combed the displayed scars of honor on the rest of the young men and women there.
Okay, that's not actually bad. That's
Women there, their hands, arms, women there, all had burns, some shaped as flowers, or delicate decorations on their hands, arms, chest, and even their new line. New line, period. New tab. It's I-K-E, like. T-A-E-Y, they. It want. T-A-E, marks. K-R-A-M, space, the. T-A-T, tats. Space, S. T-E-F, tattoos. E-B-E-E-N, scene, space. Scene question mark, space. Stel, Y. Not, just. Space. Just. Space. Just. Leave. Them. Burns, comma. Burns, space. Y. D-E. Decorate. Them. L-I-K-E, like. This, space. This question mark. New line. Am I really willing to burn myself to learn from this guy? New line. New question mark. New tab. T-A-E, the. E more. A-E-P-L-O-K-E looked. U-D around comma. Around comma. E more. E realized. What truly. D considering. D doing. T whatever. T it. Took. Two. Space. Two. Join. This. G-R-U-P group of A-F-R crafters space. Crafters period. Space. Riker. E-X. E-D excited. What by? E the E-C-R-E-T secrets. Space. Secrets. A-E-P-A, what may, U-H-M-V-R, space, uncover, B, what by, T-R-A, interacting, G-U-P group, space, group period. New line, am I really willing to burn myself to learn from this guy? Page 2, Riker knew his answer immediately after asking himself. Would burn himself to learn to defend himself, fighting even to joining the home face, new line. Fight to would burn Riker, new line, page 1A body, page 2
paragraph. That was a paragraph.
Arm and up to his shoulder.
Speechify has new window. Speech muted.
Feeling as if the eyes of the snake bore into him, as if the tattoo was alive and locking gazes with him. He combed the rest of the young men and women there. All had burns, some shaped as flowers, or delicate decorations on their hands, arms, chest, and even their necks and faces. Am I really willing to burn myself to learn from this guy? Riker knew his answer immediately after asking himself. He absolutely would burn himself to learn how to wield a sword. He needed the skills and ability to defend himself, and currently knew no other way to gain mastery of sword fighting, even to a basic degree, without enlisting in the local guard, or worse, joining the mortal militia that was more fodder than armed forces. He absolutely would burn. Am I really willing to burn myself?
Right. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check to see if my food got delivered. Yeah. Wait a minute. So, hold on. Does YouTube have a For You page? I didn't know that. I don't. Whoever my last visitor was said that I popped up on their For You page, and I'm wondering now what For You page she was talking about, because I thought only TikTok and Instagram had For You pages, but I could be wrong there. Could be wrong. I only remember YouTube having like a shorts page, and then yeah, like I only get on the shorts page, and they give me a bigger thing. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Let me actually ask my fiance.
Speech unmuted. Pages 13. Through the fire and flames. Window. Body. Messages. Record audio. Search. Conversation. In Mama. So select it out of search emoji. Add. But message. Message. Edit text. Is editing. T. What? All. So eat. Media. T. Platforms. Have. A. For. You. G. Page question mark. What all social media platform? T. Last. V. V-I-W-R. Viewer. D. Said. P-O-P-P-E-D. Popped. U. P. Up. O. On. E. There. Space. E. E-R-S. There's. Space. There's exclamation mark. My last viewer said I popped up on theirs. Quit messages. Paid tab. Tab. New line. Speech muted.
Learn from this guy. Riker knew his answer immediately after asking himself. He absolutely would burn himself to learn how to wield a sword. He needed the skills and ability to defend himself, and currently knew no other way to gain mastery of sword fighting, even to a basic degree, without enlisting in the local guard, or worse, joining the mortal militia that was more fodder than armed forces when their home faced true conflict from unallied forces or monster outbreaks. Riker looked back to Osiris, and the man's fierce gaze told Riker everything he needed to know. Have you made your decision, boy? Will you die by a blade or be reborn anew in the flames of the forge? Riker smiled. I choose the flames. Osiris smiled, and Riker had a feeling that the man before him may be slightly disturbed. The smile Osiris wore was that of genuine joy at Riker's decision, which made Riker think more about the situation he was currently a part of. Well, he is a banished noble which you don't know the reason for. He's training children for reasons unknown to you in combat, on top of requiring me to burn myself in some sort of hazing acceptance ritual. Got to be crazy, muttered Riker as he stood, Vin chuckling at his side as those gathered rose from the table, all eyes pointed at him. He wasn't done eating, but had a feeling that until he did whatever came next, all there would continue to act standoffish, keeping him at arm's length. You're an outsider, Riker. They have no reason to trust you. He looked at the still hot meal before him, saddened by the massive amounts of food being wasted, until Osiris tapped the table with a rhythmic knock. The magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal at the center of the box Lana had given him. He was glad to see expressions of disappointment
Speech unmuted.
from the other children around him, feeling that he'd been
Riker knew what to slightly disturbed. Training children for new line, muttered Riker as wrote, you're an outsider, Riker. New line. He was glad to see expressions. New line. Header, in him, given, had, Lana, box, the, of. Page to the magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming of, the, box. X, O, B, space, the, O, T, E, X, vortex. Space. The magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm, and page 3 steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal at the center of the vortex Lana had given him. X, E, T, R, O, V, P, A, C, K, H, E. Package. M, L, small. Page to the magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and
The
re-enter
motto.
the softly glowing portal at the center of the small package Lana had given him.
This is a
Messages,
reminder.
Wi-Fi
The
Catherine
motto.
Diallo, TikTok, and YouTube have it for you page. Instagram has reels that show you the people that you follow, and the videos you were like. They're basically all off of an algorithm. Group. To open the notifications menu, press Control, Option, N.
Okay, well, I popped up most likely on somebody's.
Messages, Wi-Fi Catherine Diallo, TikTok, and YouTube have specific for you pages. Group. To open the notifications menu,
I'm
press
assuming
Control,
I popped up on
Option,
somebody's
N.
YouTube For You page. Which ain't bad. It's not bad at all.
Page to the magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal at the center of the package. The at port glow the re-tape the pay table and pay tape the up the toward slide pay toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal at the center of the small paid the paid package paid small spell ATROP portal page to the magic of glowing portal small package Lana had space portal being MADEBY the small page to the magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal being made by the small package Lana had given him. New line. He was glad to see expressions of disappointment on some of the other children around him, feeling that he'd been alone in his desire. He was glad to chip delicacies until he saw the mirrored frowns around him.
In his desire for more of the delicacies.
Speechify has new window. Actions available. Format text quickly by voiceover jumping to the formatter. You are currently on a text area inside of a page. To enter text in this area, type speech muted.
The magic of the box once more triggered, causing still warm and steaming dishes to slide toward the center of the table and re-enter the softly glowing portal at the center of the box Lana had given him. He was glad to see expressions of disappointment on some of the other children around him, feeling that he'd been alone in his desire for more of the delicacies until he saw the mirrored frowns around him. Even more surprising was the few smiles he got as he rounded the self-packing feast and table to arrive beside Osiris. "Are you ready?" Riker nodded again, giving his confirmation. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Even more surprising was the few smiles he got as he rounded the self-packing feast and table to arrive beside Osiris. "Are you ready?" Riker nodded again, giving his confirmation. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward, Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's hand ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. "Here, child, this is called a testing blade. It was forged by a legendary crafter to test the dedication."
Speech unmuted. New line. Even more surprised at it wielded to mold the items he crafted. The blacksmith pay 8. The 8 hand pay 8. Pay hand. Page 3 hand H. D-I-T-S. Digits. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Misspelled our Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Extended Riker man's mass hand extend to guide Riker forward. Hit Riker. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Misspelled our Riker Riker forward. Misspelled our Riker. 9 suggest K I. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Page 3. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Riker not new line. Riker not again giving hit the hand extended. Hand massive. Man's. Massive hand. D-A-H-A-R-M. The man's massive arm extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the X2 got right A2 the heat of the EATOUSS. The man's massive arm extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of Osiris's hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Hand the in it land on his back at it the black digit 8. The very fire the forge the page 3 EATAIS. The man's massive arm extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of Osiris's hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire his forge wielded to hit the 8. Page did the if s back. Page 3 back K back period space M T the N misspell sensation making space S. Page 3 as Riker feel. The sensation making Riker feel as if the blacksmith's digits ate the very fire his forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Blacksmith's digits ate the very fire his forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. The mold the for his very the 8 digits. Page 3 at GID. The sensation making Riker feel as if the blacksmith's fingers ate the very fire his forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Fingers crafted. New line. Save. Here, child. This is called a testing blade. It was forged by a legendary crafter. To test the dedication of future smiths, by mark behind as a symbol of just how determined to test the dedication of future smiths by drawing on their mana and leaving a mark behind as a symbol of just how determined the future crafter was during their trial. New line. Riker nodded. New line. Riker nodded, wondering if Osiris spoke of the burns or something else. New line. New line. Right double quotation mark. New line. Riker nodded, wondering if Osiris spoke of the burns or something else entirely. New line. The regal blade the man had been working on when Riker entered was.
Okay. So I like how we're smoothing this out. We're smoothing this out. It's smoothing.
Of future smiths by drawing on
Speechify has new regal actions available. Format text quickly by voiceover jumping to the formatter. You are currently on a text area inside of a page. To enter text in this area, type speech muted.
Nodded. The man's massive hand extended to guide Riker forward. Riker able to feel the heat of the hand the instant it landed on his back, as if the blacksmith's hand ate the very fire the forge wielded to mold the items he crafted. Here, child,
that was clunky.
This is called a testing blade. It was forged by a legendary crafter to test the dedication of future smiths by drawing on their mana and leaving a mark behind as a symbol of just how determined the future crafter was during their trial. Riker nodded, wondering if Osiris spoke of the burns, or something else entirely. The regal blade the man had been working on when Riker entered was placed into his hand. Riker surprised to find the blade to be light, even though it was almost as tall as he was. Interesting. What do I do now? Osiris gestured toward his forge and smiled widely. Step in as far as you can and hold the blade for as long as you can. Riker took a deep breath, raising the blade, and began to walk closer to the fire of the forge.
Speech unplay. New line. Step in as far as you can. New line. Step in as far as you can. Comma. Space. U-O-Y. Space. Space. D. Body. W. I. Will. E. T. Let. U. You come. Page 3. Step in as far as your body will let you. And hold the blade for as long as you can. Can. Page 3. Can. U S long S 4 page S long at 4 blade page 3 blade E U T out. You can't. New line. Page 4. Riker took a deep breath, raising the blade, and began to walk closer to the fire of the forge. New line. Speech muted.
The heat was instantly overwhelming. Riker feeling as if the man's magical forge was enraged at Riker's belief. But the longer Riker held it outward, the more weight he felt the weapon consist of. He felt a strange tug from his solar plexus, a drain of what he assumed to be mana, flowing from the depths of his own body and into the handle of the weapon he held. He almost looked back, but felt that even the slightest movement would break the growing concentration he felt blooming in his mind. Not wanting to look away, he turned his gaze entirely to the sword in his hand. His now trembling hand, he ignored his muscles beginning to cramp. He ignored the growing heat that threatened to strip the moisture from his face and lips with how close he stood. Even the murmurs behind himself that grew in number the longer he stood there. I'll die before I fail this damned test.
Speech is new line. The blade wasn't heavy, complex. He break the growing concentration. Away he turned his gaze entirely to the sword in his hand. New line. He ignored his muscles beginning that threatened to strip the moisture from his face and lips with how close he. How with and face his face N face page N face page N face page 4 face N P S lips N even S his space even D inside of S his lips S space E nose. He ignored the growing heat that threatened to strip the moisture from his face, lips, and even the inside of his nose with how close he stood. Number the longer he stood there. New line. Number nose with how close he stood. Even the murmurs behind himself that grew in. With page 4 with how he stood even. He ignored his muscles beginning to cramp. He ignored the growing heat that threatened to strip the moisture from his face, lips, and even the inside of his nose with how close he stood. Even the murmurs even. Stood. He. Close. He. Stood. Even. Page 4 even. Space. New line. Tab. Y-E-T. Yet even. Even. The. Pay even. Page 4 even. This double it wasn't enough. 4 R right P pushed himself T-O 2 space 2 space the page for the E-V-E-N even L kept block U-T out there. Pay murmurs behind himself that grew in number. The number page 4 number R D N O U N E volume comma volume N number N grew that himself pay that grew in number N pay no it grew that himself behind murmurs pay him that grew in no it vol the longer he stood there I'll die before pay die I there stood he longer page 4 R longer the volume page 4 comma the he stood there period new line. I'll die before I fail this damn test. I'll walk into the forge if I have to. It will. New line. New line. New there. New line. Tab. Didn't C his U soul U count. Each begin. 2 D I diminish his vision space vision period he didn't R here Osiris yelling space Yelling period. Space. N-O-T. Not. E-N. Even. L-E-T-R. Lester. S. The man. Kicked. The behind. Him. Space. M-I-A. Space. Behind. Them. All. Space. All period. New tab. Left R. I-K-E-R. Riker X. Right double quotation mark. New line. I'll die before I fail this damn test. I'll either be me or death that prevails here. I'll die before I fail this damn test. I'll walk into the forge before I fail this damn test. I'll walk. I'll test. Page 4 period. Test X space T. That. Comma. Space. Fuck that. I'll walk into the forge if I have to. 2. New line. The sword itself, even though his hand shook, stayed completely unmoving. Riker honestly falling in love with the artistry of the blade's design. New line. He felt as if he looked at an elongated new line. New period. New line. Tab. A-O. Chaos. O-E. Broke. Out. E-A-D. Behind. A-I. Him. A-E-T-R. Lester. T space Lester T-R-E cross T-E-R-O room T-R toward A-I him space him period space A-I-D-E children N-E even I-S-O Osiris space Osiris space Osiris at E-P-P inch stepping B-E-T-W-E-E between between in between L-E-T-E-R Lester A-D-N R-I-E-R Riker space Riker period Riker comma D A-W-H drawing S-W-R-D-N swords A-D-N D-N-A space S sword semicolon A-E-R there A-N-E-T-A ancestral Tomes A-P-P-A-R inch appearing from A-M-U-T D-E-E multitude of A-D-D-E hidden locations A-E-R there W I-D-R space welders R-E-D-L-E-W W-I-E-D-R-S wielders D-I-E-S bodies space bodies period new line tab I-T-S it's B-E-A-U-T-I-L beautiful beautiful comma T-H-E-O-H-T space comma beautiful comma selected page 5 it's beautiful italic check selection unselected new line comma page 5 it's beautiful space T-H-G-G-O-H H-T space thought Riker space Riker comma P-E-T-L completely L-I-E-D fixated O-T-E the A-D-E blade space blade period space unable to here take the a clash of swords D-N use of D-E destructive magics E-A-D behind him space him period new line he felt as if he looked at an elongated droplet of water remembering from an overheard conversation the style of blade he held meant to his partner new line etched across the surface of the weapon were runes similar to all save magic were in motion all didn't at least F were in motion all runes moved from what Riker knew of them yet these runes
I'll walk into the forge if I have to. It will either be me or death that prevails here.
speech
the sword
muted
himself, even though his hand shook, stayed completely unmoving. Riker honestly falling in love with the artistry of the blade's design. He felt as if he looked at an elongated droplet of water, remembering from an overheard conversation from one of the many guards throughout the city that the style of blade he held was Spartan in nature. Not that Riker knew what that meant, beyond the fact that the man was indicating the shape of his new weapon to his partner. Etched across the surface of the weapon were runes similar to all the other magical items Riker experienced in his life, with one exception. None of the runes were in motion. All runes moved from what Riker knew of them. Yet these runes didn't, at least at first. The more of the energy that was drawn from his body, the more Riker felt he saw changes in the blade. The magical lines carved into the mana infused steel beginning to dance in the light of the forge as he stared down at the blade. Then a pain, unlike anything Riker had ever lived through, ripped into Riker's body like a bolt of lightning. Riker's vision went white, and the sound of voices behind him disappeared completely. All he could feel was fire tearing into him. The sensation of flame like uncontrolled mana, trying to snuff out his life force in a tidal wave of energy. When Riker sat up in bed, he screamed in both terror and panic of the pain that ran up and down his left arm. Only...
Speech did new. The more of the saw changes in the blade. Beginning, new line, then a pain unlike anything Riker had ever lived through ripped into Riker's body like a bolt of lightning. Riker's vision went wide and the sound of voices. Then a pain ripped into Riker's body like a bolt of light. Riker vision went white. And the sound of voices. Then a body like a bolt of light went white. And the sound of voices. E-V. E, flame, space, N, R, at Rikers, N, own, T-E-R-R-I-E, terrified, S, E-A-M, S, screams, E-D, touch, A-I, his, E-A-R-S. Riker's vision went wide and the sound of flame and Riker's own terrified screams touched his ears behind him disappeared completely. Ears. Page 5 Riker's vision went wide and the sound of flame and Riker's own terrified body like then a pain, new line, then a pain and F lit through into Riker body like a bolt of light Riker vision went white, N, white, page 5 white, N, D, N, A, O, E, before the sound of flame, E, E, S, flames, N, Riker's own terrified screams touched his ears. S ears cuts S the smell of B G burning E flesh E met his E nose comma behind page 5 behind E R Y A N G everything. Space, everything, seemingly, washed, Y, away behind, page 5, A, Y. Riker's vision went white before the sound of flames and Riker's own terrified screams touched his ears. As the smell of burning flesh met his nose, everything seemingly washed away behind him disappeared completely. Behind him. Seeming everything, no, his, met, flesh, met, hit, nose, comma, nose period, everything, page 5 everything, E, everything seemingly washed away behind him disappeared, page 5 everything, that, moment, but, double, knowledge, that, he, double, was, likely, being, burned, alive, space. Everything in that moment, but the knowledge that he was most likely being burned alive seemingly washed away behind him disappeared completely. Page 5 everything in that moment, but the knowledge that he was most likely being burned alive seemingly washed away, seemingly. Page alive, page 5 alive. In, space, seemingly, away behind. Away, page 5 away. Away period. Space. R, Riker. N, E, none. Wiser. T, what? O, E, D. Riker none the wiser to what occurred behind him disappeared completely. behind him. Riker, none the wiser to what misspelled occurred behind him, disappeared completely. Comma, M, him, comma, space, him, misspelled what? Misspelled occurred. D-E-R-U-O, space, what? O-C-U-E-E-E-D, misspelled assured. D-E-R-U-C-O, U-E-D-D, occurred, space, behind him, disappeared. Him, page 5, him, comma. Space, the world, itself. 4. R-I-E-R, Riker, space. Disappeared. D-E. Disappeared, space. Riker, none the wiser to what occurred behind him, the world itself, for Riker disappearing completely. New line, period. New line, all he could feel was fire tearing into him. This uncontrolled mana trying to snuff out his life force in a tidal wave of energy. New line, when Riker sat up in bed, he screamed in both terror and panic of the pain. New line, when Riker sat up in bed, comma. Next, instant, page 5, when Riker sat up in bed the next instant, he screamed in both terror and panic of the pain that ran up and down his left arm, only for him to raise the limb and see a new tattoo burned across his entire arm, stretching from his palm to his shoulder.
Boom.
Panic of the pain that ran up and see his shoulder. New line, what happened? New line, was all that misspelled our Iker could ask. New line, was all that misspelled our Iker. Not page 5. R-I. Page 5 was all that Riker could ask himself as he looked at the tattoo storm memorialized up his arm. Riker. Memorial. New line, page 6, where unblemished skin once sat, now held a storm made of blacks. Unblemished, page once now held a storm made of blacks. S. Page 6, where unblemished skin once sat, now held a storm made of black lightning bolts. Bolts, black outlines of moving within the storm. Bolts could see the black, a storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that black. Where unblemished bolts, a cloud made of frost. N. A storm clouds made of frost and made clouds, storm. A. Page 6. A space S. Space A. S. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within the storm. Storm. Page 6. Black outlines of moving within the storm. New line. Storm. The. Within. Page. The. Storm. Here. M-R-O.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to brush my teeth. Where's the floss?
T. Space. Space. The. Space. The. Space. The. A-R-I-A-E. Hurricanes. Space. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within the hurricanes. E-A-C-I-R-R-U-H space. The. E-A-T space. Within. Space. Page 6. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within. N. in, within period. Period, within. Space. Within of hurricanes battling tornadoes arm period. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within what looked like a depiction of hurricanes battling Arctic tornadoes up his arm. Where unblemished skin once sat, now held a storm made of black lightning bolts. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within what looked like a depiction of hurricanes battling like look what within outlets could that of made frost and bolts storm clouds bolt lightning bolts period bolts period space the art on his arm flared in space. Storm clouds made of frost and a strange energy that Riker could see the black outlines of moving within what looked in within comma what looked what within page 6 within comma page 6 within comma within W new period up his arm
Okay.
Page 6, what looked like a depiction of hurricanes battling Arctic tornadoes up his arm. Space. Arm. Space. Expected. From. The. Test. Space. Test. Testing. Blade comps. Riker. Now. Knowing. Why? Every. Burn. Had. Been. Decorated. Space. Decorated period. New tab. Weren't. Tattoos. All. Period. Question mark. New line. Star bling star. New line. Riker's overlay chimed, and a new notification appeared. New line. Soul brand acquired. Your soul has been branded by a testing blade. Its legendary rank has bestowed a living tattoo upon your flesh. This marks you as tested, giving you the crafter's affinity known as Storm Head. New line. All items crafted by you have a chance to be infused with the storm of galaxies. New line. Beware, all items infused with the energies from the storm created by your ancestral tome may have potentially chaotic storm-based qualities.
Yeah, that's a lot of storm.
Beware, all items infused with the energies from the storm created by your ancestral tome. Beware, new galaxies. New line, beware, all infused with the energies from the storm created. The storm. SEAT space MO. From what you are your soul brand space created. Beware, all items infused with the energies from your soul brand created by your ancestral tome may have to create brand soul paid brand that has been created by your ancestral tome may Beware, all items infused with the energies from your soul brand that has been created by your ancestral tome may have Page 6. Beware, all items infused with the energies from your soul brand that has been created by your ancestral tome may have potentially chaotic storm-based qualities. Page 6. Beware, all items infused with the energies from your soul brand that has been created by your ancestral new line. Beware, all items with the energies from your Y-T-A-E. Page 6. Beware, all items infused with the energies from the soul brand that has been created by your ancestral tome may have potentially chaotic storm-based qualities. The been created qualities, new line, quality-based, storm, chaotic. Page 6. Chaotic. Uncontrollable. Space, storm.
Ziggy, give me another
S.
word for storm.
Space.
Synonyms for storm meaning strong weather include blast, downpour, or blizzard. For the meaning commotion, turmoil, some synonyms include disturbance, bomb, or burst. For more, ask me to give you more synonyms for storm.
Ziggy, give me more synonyms for storm.
Here are some more words like storm. For the meaning attack, rush, some synonyms include roar, tear, or assault.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Space. Space. Beware, all items infused with the energies from the soul brand that has been created by your ancestral tome may have potentially chaotic and uncontrollable base qualities. Space. Space. B. Space. Uncontrollable. W-A-R. Weather. Space. Based. Qualities. New line. You have been warned. End of text. You have been warned. Save. Selected 13. Through the fire and flames. Copy. Finder.
All right, let's get this uploaded.
Google Chrome.
So we can move on
Becoming a partner.
to episode 14. I only got to edit that one. And if I, you know what, we're just gonna keep this one going for as long as we can. Just as a checkpoint, guys, you can comment and it'll talk to me. So even if I'm, you're in here and you want to engage, you can. All you gotta do is leave a comment, and it will literally read it off to me. So, yeah, but I'm in here until I pass out at this point. That's how I feel. Or have to use the bathroom, because that also is a part of life.
Now in Pocket Studio. Write stories for the world. New tab. Reload. View site. Book deep. Finish up. Pocket Studio. New tab. Toolbar. Pockets. Close. New toolbar. Pockets. Close. New tab. Back. Reload. View. Book deep. Pocket. Close. New tab. Back. Reload. Description. Back. Loading Pocket Studio. Write. Book deep. Finish update. Epistemic. Finish pockets. Two pockets. Pockets. Close. New tab. Toolbar. Pockets. Studio. Close. New tab. Back. Forward. Reload. View studio. Bookmark. The default extend. Finish Pocket Studio. Write Pocket Studio. Finish update. Pocket Studio. Extend default pop-up. Bookmark this tab. View. Reload. Forward. Back. New tab. Close. Pocket Studio. Write stories for the in Pocket Studio. Close. Button. Pause keyboard short replay button. Next keyboard shortcut.
Why does it keep doing that to me? I do not know.
Address and search bar. Press tab. Then enter to add. Pocket F. New tab. Web content. Pocket FM. Chrome. Item chooser menu. 623. 2 items. Studio. Button. Group. Pocket Studio. Website. Web content. Main. Loading. Status. Spinner gradient icon. Loading. Item chooser menu, 24 items. Pocket Studio, write stories for the world. Google Pocket Studio, write stories for the Pocket toolbar. Loading. You are current item chooser menu, Pocket Studio, write stories for the world. Google Pocket Studio, loading.
The hell?
You are end of loading. Spinner gradient icon. You are loading. You are currently end of notifications alt plus end loading. You are spinner gradient icon loading status.
Okay.
You are currently on a status.
That's weird.
App. Speech of audio, and video. Now play 100% Wi-Fi. Connected. 3 bars. Chrome. Spinner gradient icon. Reload this page. Main. Loading. Status. Spinner gradient icon. Loading.
What the hell is going on?
Spinner gradient. Loading. End of. Notifications Alt plus end of. Main. End of. Loading. Spinner gradient icon.
Okay, well, that's garbage. We're gonna go and fix episode 14 because slow me down for what?
Pages. 13.
Ruthless.
Through the fire and flames.
Through the
Window.
fire and flames.
Body.
Sorry,
Page
I
6 of
gotta say that
6.
every time.
Edit text.
I actually
Content
don't
selected.
have to. I just
Now
feel
in
like it.
14. Unfocused rebirth. Beginning new line. 14. Copy.
14.
Speech muted.
Unfocused rebirth. Riker walked past Lana's stall, only glancing at the woman, feeling her gift last time had been absolutely amazing, but hadn't stopped Riker from being killed. No, he didn't blame her. Nor did he believe her to be the root of his last attempt at the day. Yet now that his arm was constantly under pain, he felt that trying to receive another
Speech
piece of the
unmuted.
woman probably wouldn't.
Selection deleted. Speech muted. N. Speech muted. Right new line. Riker barely. Its edges lined in a nearly imperceptible line of darkness. Riker almost. Osiris began to work. Body. Footer. Group. Body. Beginning of new line. Riker walked past Lana's stall, only glancing at the woman, feeling her. Gift last time had been absolutely amazing, but hadn't killed. Being killed. B. D. G. Dying. Period. New tab. Y. U. N. T. Can't. E. Blank. E. R. Her comma. Spit. Your D. U. M. B. A. Dumbass. W. E. D. Walk. Enter. N. N. Oven. D. N. T. Got. K. E. D. Cooked. Space. Cooked period. Exclamation mark. New line. No, he didn't blame her, nor did he believe her to be the root of his last. Speech muted.
Play out the same way. He waved a pleasant wave in the woman's direction. Her returned smile, guarded, and Riker quickly lowered his hand for 2 reasons. One was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him, the obvious strange child waving at her with familiarity. While his second reason was his immediate return to Osiris's black.
Speech unmuted.
The pain in his arm was constant.
Attempt at trying to same what? New line. He waved a guarded, awkward smirk frown. She said her with blacksmith. Her with familiarity. While his second reason was his immediate. One was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him. The obvious strange child waving at her with familiarity. Wave. Child. Strange. Obvious. The. Him. Toward. Him. The. Page 1 was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him. The obvious strange child. Him. Page 1 the. 1 was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him. The obvious strange child waving at her with familiarity. H. Which. The. E-A-T. Space. Obvious. L. Y. Obviously. Del. Was. D-U-E. Do. T-O-2. A-E. The. Space. Page 1 strange. 1 was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him, which obviously was due to the strange child wave. Page 1 was the awkward smirk guarded and right awkward smirk. Page 1 smirk. Frown. She set toward. 1 was the awkward smirk frown she sent toward him, which obviously was due to the strange child waving at her with familiarity. Frown she sent toward him. Strange child immediate return to Osiris's blacksmith. New line. The pain in his arm was constant, unending in ways that made Riker want. New line. Period. While his second reason was his immediate return to Osiris's blacksmith. It was reason. Second, his. While. Page 1 while his second reason was his immediate return with her at waving. child. Strange. Page child. Wait at her with the what his sec reason what his. Page was. Page 1 was. Oh. Also. His. Page 1 his. Reason R. For his. While his second reason was also the reason for his immediate return to Osiris's blacksmith. New line. New line. Period. 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 Blacksmith. Morning. Space. Intent. Space. Morning. Instead. Trying. Path. Space. Path. Period. New tab. O. W. Outcomes. Double. Ow. Double. Ow. Space. Page 1 ow. Ow. Space. Comma. I'll exclamate page 1 ow. Ow ow. New line. The pain in his arm was constant, unending in ways that made Riker want to cry and curl up into a ball. Save, then a broken arm. Speech muted.
Unending in ways that made Riker want to cry and curl up into a ball. Return to bed and never leave again. It felt worse than a broken arm. As he approached the front door of the large smithy, he wondered what he'd experienced so far that had been more painful and came up with nothing. The fall from the building was bad, but it was over quick, and not truly my first life-ending fall, thought Riker, once again stepping inside the smithy. This time...
Speak as he knew the first life as new line, then a broken to cry, then a new line, then to cry and curl up into a ball, then a broken arm. New line, new period, period, period. Arm, comma, e.g. leg, spec, leg, or y, and other, bones, heat, broken, in, his, like, far. Trying, to, t, train, his, d, y, body, period. New line. As he approached the front door of the large smithy, he wondered what he'd experienced so far that had been more painful, and came up with nothing. As he approached the front door of the large smithy, he wondered what he'd experienced so far. Becoming ancestral tone wielder space wield. As he approached the front door of the large smithy, he wondered what he'd experienced so far since becoming an ancestral tome wielder that had been more painful, and came up with nothing. New line. The fall from the building was bad, but it was over quick. And new line. The fall from the building. Few. Deaths. K. Back. Page 1. The fall from the building a few deaths back was bad, but it was over quick, and not truly my first life-ending fall, thought Riker, once again stepping inside the smithy. And not the smithy. This time, instead of looking toward misspelled Vin, Riker set his eyes directly into the room, finding Osiris's gaze boring into him, then flicking downward to his. Palm misspelled the tattoo there, crackling with bubbling lightning. Lightning held. Light up with crackle there. Tattoo. Misspelled the palm. Page 1. Period. Period. Misspelled T. The tattoo there crackling with bubbling. Page 1. Page 1. Palm. Page the tattoo. The tattoo there crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm. The icy cloud depicted their chilling Riker's fingers to the bone. There. The tattoo there crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm. The icy cloud depicted their chilling Riker's fingers to the bone. Crackling with the icy cloud. New line. Did my master send you here, boy? New line. The noise of the training youths all stopped. The tidy lines of sparring. Youngsters jumping in alarm when Osiris spoke. New line. Page 2 was lying. He didn't know if the state. Riker shook his head, knowing that the man said he could tell if Riker was lying. He didn't know if the statement was
Instead of looking toward Vin, Riker set his
Speechify.
eyes directly into the room, finding Osiris's
muted.
gaze boring into him, then flicking downward to his palm. The tattoo there crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm, The icy cloud depicted there chilling Riker's
Speech
fingers to
unmuted.
the bone. Did my master send you?
Lying. Osiris. Right, Bob. The new lie. Did my master send you? The icy cloud depicted their chilling. Paul misspelled the tattoo they're crackling with into the room, finding Osiris's gaze boring into him, then flicking downward to his palm. Pay palm. A. P. Space. His. D. Hand period. Misspelled the 9 suggested corrections. E-A-T-T-A-E. The tattoo they're crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm. The icy cloud depicted their page 1. The tattoo they're crackling with tattoo their into the room, finding Osiris's gaze boring into him, then flicking downward to his hand. The tattoo they're crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm. The icy cloud depicted their chilling Riker's finger bone. The 2 fingers. Riker chilling. There. Page 1 there. E-A-T. Space. D. Space. C. The tattoo they're crackling with bubbling lightning held beneath his palm. The icy cloud depicted chilling Riker's fingers to the bone. Chilling Riker. New line. Did my master send you here, boy? New line. The noise of the training youths all save. Speech muted.
Here, boy? The noise of the training youths all stopped, the tidy lines of sparring youngsters jumping in alarm when Osiris spoke. Riker shook his head, knowing that the man said he could tell if Riker was lying. He didn't know if the statement was entirely true, but wouldn't be testing Osiris, especially with how much pain he was in. Then why do you have a crafter's bond? Only a handful of people could have tested you on this continent, and with how large your soul brand is, the catalyst couldn't have been weak either. Father, this kid survived a branding. Riker heard Vin speak, but kept his eyes on Osiris, tears beginning to leak free of his eyes as he blinked. Why does this hurt so bad? Osiris chuckled. That brand is large enough to have consumed an entire soul. Or more even, I'd honestly believe that you gave live sacrifices during your testing if I didn't know that the practice had been outlawed eons ago. Riker dropped to his knees, shaking in desperation, hoping for anything that would stop the pain. Please help me. Riker ignored the flashing lights for multiple notifications in the corner of his vision, pleading desperately as he stared into Osiris's sun-like pupils, only for the man to nod. The large man beckoned Riker over, and many others moved aside from their practicing, each person giving him a nod as they stepped back from who they were facing to take him in, some even slapping him gingerly on his back as he passed. He wanted to wonder why the way he was being treated by them was drastically different, only able to reason that the difference must come from the brand. The soul brand was mostly covered by Riker's black cloak, but in that moment when Riker looked down to his palm, he could see the outline of his arm blowing through his clothing and even his cloak's dark folds. The
Speech
storm was
unmuted.
visible as if it was the only illumination in a completely night sky.
New line. New line. Have kept. Why does this hurt so bad? New line. Free of his eyes as he. Riker heard misspelled Vin speak, but kept new line. Father, this kid survived. Free of what? New line. Riker dropped to his knees. Riker ignored the flashing lights from who they were facing to take back. He was drastically different. Brand. New line. The soul brand was mostly covered by Riker's black cloak. New line. New period. New line. Tab. D O do E they I E believe T that I M I E like M W now question mark space W A I T wait comma space M I K M space them question mark space A E L O K E D looked down his A hand again. Space. Again. Only. Realizing that. Indeed. Double forever. Changed. Space. Changed period. New line. The soul. What mostly covered by black cloak. But in that moment when Riker looked down to his palm, he could see the outline of his arm. Page 2 arm. Page 3 entire arm blowing. Page B. H. G. Glowing through his clothing, and each storm they're visible as if it was the only illumination in a completely night sky. New line. You know not what you hold, do you? Asked Osiris, and Riker shook his head. New line. A crafter's brand is a mark given when potential save. Page 3. A crafter's brand is a mark given when potential disciples hold legendary or higher grade items and equipment made by incredibly powerful and talented master craftsmen and women. The opportunity bestows and changes the mana of future crafters in ways that allows them to tap into the culmination of all their ancestral tomes pages, but requires a cost to be paid and dedication. Speech muted.
Visible as if it was the only illumination in a completely night sky. You know not what you hold, do you? Asked Osiris, and Riker shook his head. A crafter's brand is a mark given when potential disciples hold legendary or higher grade items and equipment made by incredibly powerful and talented master craftsmen and women. The opportunity bestows and changes the mana of future crafters in ways that allows them to tap into the culmination of all their ancestral tomes pages, but requires a cost to be paid in dedication. Dedication to what? Osiris chuckled, gesturing around himself. Crafting of all kinds, boy, what else? So what do I have to do? Craft something and the pain will stop. The man nodded, but then groaned and shook his head. Not completely. It will refine the energies within you, but only diminish the pain. A true crafter's pain is a lifelong journey.
Speech master of crafting of all kinds, boy. New. So what do I have to do? New line. The man, not but, hit head, not it, will, refined. D. Actions of it, save.
As it is all in your mind,
Speechify has new window. Actions available. Format text quickly by voiceover jumping to the formatter. You are currently on a text area inside of a page. To enter text in this area, type speech muted.
Crafting of all kinds, boy, what else? So what do I have to do? Craft something and the pain will stop. The man nodded, but then groaned and shook his head. Not completely. It will refine the energies within you, but only diminish the pain. A true crafter's pain is a lifelong journey, as it is all in your mind. Every nagging thought that whispers to your subconscious that you must learn, gain skills, and craft will increase the pain, while crafting anything from a new skill, an item, or even a style of combat will ease the gnawing you currently feel racking your body. And with how large your brand is, I feel you will face this hurdle even more than I had too in my youth. Osiris pulled up his own sleeve and showed his own burn, stopping just below his massive arm's elbow. But that is enough of that, said Osiris, tapping his forge once, causing the heat within to bloom outward. The man waving a hand only for a bellows to be summoned. Do you know what this is? Riker nodded. Yeah, but doesn't the magic of your
Speech unmuted. Pain. Next, your more new line, but that heat was summoned. Left double page B. Summoned. Period. From. Thin. Air. Space. Air. Period. R. Riker. Gate. Space. Gate. The. Site comes. But. Pushed. D-O, double down. His, Z, amazement, when. New, wave, of, P, N, I, pain. E, G, began. T, two, T, G, E, twinge, E, Y, space, subtly. R T first first comma space before the full sensation of flames R returned entire being space being once period. New line. Do you know what this is? New line. Do you know what this is? New line. Riker nodded. New line. New right double quotation mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Comma. Right double quotation. Asked. Osiris. Osiris. Perfectly. C. G. Distracting. Riker. That. T. Space. In. Of P pure space agony period. New line. Riker nodded. Page 4 new line. Page new line. New tab. Tab new line period. Period space. Riker nodded, period. Nodded hoping. That. Space. That. Would. Begin. End. Soon, period. New line. Yeah, but doesn't the magic of your forge keep it hot for you? Body. Page 4. Osiris nodded and new line. Page. Right double quotation mark. Actions available. Question mark. Question. Right double quotation mark. Page 4. New line. Tab. Shut. Fuck. Riker. Riker. That. Dust. Doesn't even matter. W. Now a question mark. New line. Osiris nodded in return. New line. Yes. However, today you are learning to craft swords, boy, and shortcuts. Don't make for good training. New line. Right double quotation mark. Right double quote period. Training. Crafting space. Crafting D. Kind period. Right double quotation. New line. Osiris tried to smile, but couldn't. Osiris gestured for him to take the handle. New line. Footer. Body. And edit. Osiris tried to smile. Osiris. New line. Tried. Osiris. Page 4. Tab. Tab. Page 4. Riker tried to smile, but couldn't. Riker. Page 4. Riker tried to smile, but couldn't. Osiris gestured for him to take the handle of the bellows and be tried to, but couldn't. Osiris. S. Osiris. Then space. Osiris then gestured for him to take the handle of the bellows and began his work, snapping each time he needed Riker. Then could but smile too. Tried. Pay to smile, but couldn't. Period. Couldn't, space. N. Setting. Space. What misspelled? G-N-I-T. T-L. Settle. Settling. O. On. A-S. R. E. Fierce. A. G-A-Z-E. Gaze. Space. Gaze. A-E. He could. T. Muster. Space. Muster. A-S. Osiris. E. Turn. To. E. R. E. Forge. Forge, space. For F. Lifting. A. F. K. Block. Of. T. E. F. Steel. Space. Steel, space. E. Before. P. A. Placing. T. It. D. E. Inside. T. E. The. E. Flames. D. With. His. H. A. N. D. Hand. Space. U. Space. Period. Hand. Period. Space. E. Riker. E. D. Surprise. Man. U. N. P. E. D. Vun face. N. U. V. Space. Was. E. S. D. Space. Unfaced. T. Heat. Period. Space. New tab. Page 4. Osiris then gestured for him to take the handle of the bellows and began his work, snapping each time he needed Riker to pump the mechanical device. Riker took to the process more quickly than normal, as even just his work pushing down the large accordion-designed instrument made the pain in his arm begin to drain slowly from his limb. His work, snapping each time, Riker took to the process more quickly than normal, as even just his work pushing down the large accordion-designed instrument made the pain in his arm begin to drain slowly from his limb. The slight shift in agonizing sensations, making Riker notice the tension that wound up the rest of his entire body into a state of rigidity. New line, period. New line, tab. his focus intensified time period space noise those around him fall nothing space nothing comma nothing period doing task he been given of his current ability space breathing deeply space deeply space why deeply doing the task he'd been given to the best of his current ability breathing deeply space deeply even heat felt diminished overtime space overtime period new line each time he pushed he felt cooler like he'd been on the verge of a fever only to now be feeling the wind on his face after a particularly hard workout. Save. Riker stopped when he felt Osiris put a hand on his shoulder. New line. That is enough for now, child. I believe that your training weapon will be a fine one, said Osiris, pulling what Riker thought at first was nothing more than a simple blade. Only Riker's eyes caught a subtle glint coming from the steel as Osiris began to work on a mundane grip to place upon the weapon's handle. New line. Is that for me? New line. Riker barely noticed Osiris's nod, taking in the blade that softly emitted cold. Its edges lined in a nearly imperceptible line of darkness. Riker its edges lined in a nearly imperceptible. Its edges lined in a nearly imperceptible. Riker barely noticed Osiris's nod, taking in the blade that softly emitted cold. Its edges lined in a nearly imperceptible line of darkness. Its edges lined in a nearly new line. Riker barely take in the blade that emit cold. Its edges lined in. Edges. Page 4 edges. Lined. D-E-N-I-L. I-P-D. Page 4, its edges tipped in a nearly imperceptible line of darkness. Tipped. In a nearly imperceptible to speak as Osiris placed the blade in his hands. New line. To speak as Riker almost unable to speak as new line. Yes, boy, it is now. We need to talk. Footer, group. To hide or show headers and footers, navigate away from them. And then use the end of right double quotation mark. Save.
Okay, all right. We edited these 2 chapters. We got to get them uploaded. I hope Pocket FM has started to work now, because that will irritate me, because I want the best for our chapter releases. Warm that up. I might even drink some water, actually. Where are we going?
Google Chrome, Pocket Studio, loading, status, reload this page, Pocket Studio, main, loading, status, spinner gradient icon, loading. End of, loading, end of, loading, notifications, end of, main. Close. New tab. Toolbar. Pockets. Close. New tab. Tool. Pockets. Finish. Epistemic. Finish up. Pocket Studio. Pocket Studio. Write stories for the world. Close. New tab. Back. Reload. View site. Studio Pocket. FM.com. Bookmark this tab. Default extensions. Epistemic. Finish update. Pocket Studio. Write stories for the world. Finish update. 1. You are currently. Finish update. Epistemic. Finish update. Finish update. Description. Customize, and finish update. Epistemic, finish update. Out of tool, Pocket Studio, in loading, spinner gradient, loading, end of, notifications alt, end of, main. You are notifications alt, end of, loading, spinner gradient, loading, end of, notification, end of,
okay,
main.
I think Pocket FM might be down, so.
Now in, insert free. Address, pocketfm.com, P. Select, visited, link, home, visited, link, home, main navigation, list 3, List item. Link. Store. Studio. Button. Group. You are currently on a website web content. Pocket Studio. Main. Loading. Status. Spinner gradient icon. Loading.
The hell?
End of. Load. Notifications all. End of. Main. Notifications all plus T. Reach. End of. Loading. Spinner gradient icon. Loading. You are currently on a selectable text.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm missing something and, you know, I'm just unable to see something that...
End of. Loading. Spinner gradient icon. Loading.
I don't think so. So what we're going to do is when I'm done with this stream, I'm actually going to... Oh. Okay. Yeah, when we're done with this stream... Sorry, I thought I was searching for my phone number. When we're done with this stream, I'm actually going to try to upload it on my phone because I know that I'm logged into my Pocket FM account on my phone, and hopefully there's a way to edit on the app. So we'll see. But yeah. Yeah.
Pages. Finder. YouTube. Streamlabs. Button. End stream. Live 1 hour. 43-minute group. 1 viewers.
Oh,
you are currently a group. Live 1 hour. End stream. Button. End. Live 1 hour. 43 group. 1 viewers. Live end stream. Button.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I'm wondering if I should go in and start the chapter for Cornerstone Coins that I started earlier. Cause that might be a good move. But I'm wondering if maybe I just need to take a break, take a shower, and come back to this. Now that I got those 2 episodes done, you know, kind of as like a checkpoint. And I'm really not going to be editing anymore, so it would probably be best that I cut this one here and then add this to my Becoming Partnered playlist. Trying to give you guys the ins and outs of my whole process. I don't know if I might have said this earlier, but we broke 1,500 subscribers. We've only been at this for probably, I want to say about 30 days. A little bit over 30 days. I think I've streamed every day for probably 30 days now, but I'm going to try to continue a streak to stream no matter what. So, oh God, I'm tired. Yeah, I think I'm going to shower and stuff, guys. Yeah, and see how I feel after I'm done with that. But I did get this bonus stream done, so I'm going to feel good about that. Thank you guys for buying the books. Thank you guys for subscribing to the Patreons. Thank you guys for enjoying all the streams. Thank you guys for everything. Honestly, this has been amazing. I'm getting a lot of watch hours. We're getting a lot of views. We're able to get closer to the partnered 4K that we need. And as soon as I get the partnered 4K, I'm going to put all the books that I have for sale on Amazon on the YouTube, so you won't have to leave anymore to find what I'm selling. And then I'll actually just send all of my traffic to YouTube because I'll have the shop up. And then I'll also have exclusive videos. I was talking about this earlier to, I believe her name was Shay Baby. I will have all of the private videos for pretty much my version of my masterclass for self-publishing solo and how to, step by step, how, much money you want to spend on certain things and how to do things for the cheapest amounts and realistically what it's going to take for any one person in right now. 'Cause I'm going to be honest, guys, much of the reason why I'm doing this channel is because people don't read as much anymore. I know my fan base is mostly readers, and, that's what I'm cultivating is, finding people that do read. But the audience that's much larger is people that listen to audiobooks. I'm an audiobook fan. I don't buy physical books. I don't buy digital copies. I don't buy them. I buy all audiobooks. So why wouldn't I want to go, and make a product that I would love? I love audiobooks. So that's what this channel is for, is helping me become partnered, helping me make more money as a writer, and getting me to my I want to make me and my studio the equivalent to like a graphic audio production kind of studio. You know what I mean? Where everything we make is like a movie, and it's all the characters have their own voice actors. The music draws you in. The sound effects make you feel like you're there and you're walking with the characters. That's my objective. I would like to be the Stan Lee of the writing world. I want to have people think of my universe endless systems, anything endless based, and have everybody think, oh my God, Johnny Grillo made all these beautiful characters, and we need to, bring them to life because we love them so much. That's my objective. That's what I'm, working towards. So I'm starting small. And I know people, they're going to hear these types of things and go, oh my God, what are you doing? You're never going to get there. Dude, Stan Lee was 40 when he exploded. 40. Craziness. He had been writing comics for like 20 plus years at that point. Ziggy, what age did Stan Lee start drawing comics?
From webnovel.com. Stan Lee was around 19 when he began creating
He was drawing comics for 21 years before he blew up, guys. More than 2 decades. Man definitely had more than 10,000 hours in his craft. So that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you my 10,000 hours. I'm showing you why in 10 years a lot of my characters in the novel world or in the fantasy world or the fiction or anime and all of these different categories are going to be prevalent characters, because I'm putting in the work and I'm developing them, and you know what I mean? So like soon you guys are going to come on here and you're going to see different artwork for my characters, and you're going to see just a lot of different stuff. A lot of different things. So yeah, come back tomorrow. We got Lineage of Lincoln Lex. And I might even do some bonus stuff tomorrow too. Anybody who's following the To Become an Author Writing Challenge, part 3 comes out tomorrow. It's really, and I know these are just 15-second videos, but this is those shorts are to give you guys a taste of what I'm going to be doing for the full masterclass. So when you're a subscriber and you're a member of my channel, you'll get all these daily 3-minute videos that are like coaching you on how to form the right habits that will get you to make book sales. So yeah, honestly guys, thank you. That's what this all is about. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is making my everyday that much better. Having this outlet, coming here, working on writing, it means the world to me. So thank you. Come back tomorrow. Subscribe, like, find me on all your social media platforms. I got all my links below in the video. Just scroll down in the description and you'll be able to find me everywhere. And like I said, I hope you're back tomorrow, and I hope you're having a great time. I hope you're writing. I hope you're inspired by your everyday life and you're living it to the fullest. I hope that you're making moments that you don't regret rather than moments that you feel like you could turn back time. And even if you do make moments that you regret, use it in your writing. So it's okay. Just use it. Everything's fuel to a writer, guys. All of it can be good. We can make our worst of days and share them with other people, and they understand what we're going through, and it become this amazing thing. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing a less chat on Monday evenings too, by the way. So I'll be promoting the time so that like after I'm done streaming that day from like, I want to say like 7 to 9 Central Time, I'll be doing a less chat And I won't be writing. I won't be editing. I won't be playing any content. It'll literally just be, let's talk about writing. Yeah. Oh, Discord review channel. It's also in the links. Please leave me your reviews. Please leave me your shout-outs on Royal Road or any other writing platforms that you guys think that I should be on and posting my work to. And also any lit RPG or fantasy series or anything that you think that I should be listening to, send them my way. Other than that, guys, be good to yourselves. I love you guys. I hope
Button. End stream. Button.
you guys are, I hope you guys are writing. Write every
Live
day,
one
guys.
group. 1 viewers. Group. Live 1 hour. 52 minutes. End stream. Button.
Okay. We were
You
here,
are
guys.
currently
We
on
did
the
this.
button.
Whew.
Live 1 hour.
Did I forget anything?
52 minutes and 34 seconds.
Did I forget anything?
You are currently on a text element inside of web content. To exit this web area, end stream. Button. Live 1 hour. 52 minutes and 44 seconds. You are currently on a text element inside of web content.
I don't
To
think so.
exit this
I
web
don't think so.
area,
I think I did
press
it.
Control,
I think I did it. I think I
Option,
covered
Shift,
everything.
up arrow.
Oh, bonus episodes of Spell Tank are either going to be tomorrow or Saturday. And when we get done with that, we'll do a little bit of writing on that, just so we can keep that concurrent. I don't think that's the right term. And then we'll move on to ADI, Life of Aurora
End stream.
Drake
Live 1
Imperial.
hour, 53 minutes and 16 seconds. You are
All right,
currently
guys.
on a text
Thanks.
end stream. Button.
And may
You
the
are
mana be
currently
with
on a
you
button inside of web.
until